Good morning all. Here we are in beautiful Napanoch, New York, Ulster County. As always, dealing with safety road. We had another truck coming. This property was an hour and 23 minutes from our shop. So just to give you an idea of our challenges today, this will be our path in with our excavator and our power wheelbarrow. I don't know whether the video quite shows it, but it's rather steep here. The tank is actually in that wall, and I'm being told that wall was built in 1843. So obviously concerned with the integrity of the structure on that. There's the tank. So I'm not sure where I'll sit yet or how I'll sit. And we're going to install an above ground tank with a pad right back here. Got to keep the vent 2 feet from that opening. There's actually a thicker rock block foundation that we'll have to drill through. So this is definitely a challenging one with quite a bit of liability. And that's what we like, because this tends to get boring after a while. This project will probably take us a good 5 hours to do with no problems. I'll show you the burner room inside. So Sammy's just got here with stone. I'm going to fill this with stone because I don't want to slam and compact that wall. Stone is self-compacting. It'll flow easier, and it'll eliminate any type of sinking. Nice piece of property. This is God's country up here. That's all his with the barn. So good day today. Alright, we just set the pad in place. Normally we carry these, but that's 300 pounds, so that'll be a daunting task to carry that up there. We put out our safety cones. One down. We'll go trim these. hit that one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
There? Or down here?
Yeah, down there a little more.
The sun is right in my eye.
That one's gonna fall, so watch yourself. There you go. I think I can work with that. That's good. Digging that in. We're gonna get it nice and level. We'll compact it. And we'll set that pad in place. I never understand why a homeowner gets the tank filled right before we do our project. So he's got 500 gallons in there now. I'm only going to be able to put 275 in his new tank. So he's going to be paying for me to transport and dispose 225 gallons. So I don't know, maybe he's on a automatic delivery and the oil company filled it. But normally when this project happens like this, I tell them to actually put some duct tape around it and write right on it, no oil, for the oil man. So if I've explained about head pressure on a tank, so you can see that is a 2-inch diameter. That's 1.25 inches. So when the oil man hooks his nozzle up to that, he puts pressure on the vessel while he's filling it. If the outlet, the vent pipe, is a smaller diameter, it obviously builds up head pressure on the tank. That's why these things no good anymore. 2-inch fill, 2-inch vet, no head pressure. Once these tanks weaken, any kind of pressure on the vessel blows holes in the tank. It's just, again, it's just one of those things, I guess it's out of sight, it's out of mind, you don't realize it. The only guy who's going to tell you about it is your oil company, and he doesn't want to say anything about this underground tank because he brings his truck here, he unloads 500 gallons. His net profit is much higher than if his driver had to come out here and only fill 275 gallons. So most of the time these oil companies aren't going to make you aware of some of the issues on why we got to deal with these tanks. So getting everything set up, that wheelbarrow is going to do some work today. We're getting up that hill. I'll have somebody sitting down here watching this wall the entire time I excavate, looking for one tiny rock to move in any way. If it does, we'll stop the project immediately, re-look at everything. If I feel comfortable with continuing on with the removal, I will. If not, we'll call the town. I'll get the inspector out here, and normally I don't like to fill tanks in place, but this is one of those ones that I actually would, for the obvious concern. There we've located the tank and how it lies, and Craig's found the copper. Show that copper, Craig. There's the copper lines that go in through the home there. So we had an option to tie into it, which is what we're going to do. So the guys are going to go get the Gia Ripper, and we are going to trench from this area over to the tank. So we'll tie into the existing lines. Obviously, we'll blow them clean. We'll put a little bit of air on it and test it, low pressure. Actually, it'll be a vacuum. I just want to minimize as much of this excavating as possible because I don't know about this wall. We actually used an item to backfill. Not the best drainage, but I guess it's better than none. The wall is intact, fine. No issues there. Mike's got the Geo Ripper now, so we'll go ahead and start trenching our line over. The Craig's measuring now, so this tank sits directly on the pad. You don't want any issues. This tank is over 2,000 pounds once it's completely full of product. So you want it dead center on with that slight pitch to the drain plug, just in case. Also, manufacturer requires that seam be showed. That's for the daily inspection. That's a sheet of 12 gauge steel that's rolled with the end cap welded, the other end cap welded. So that's the only seam on the tank. That's why the seam is supposed to be out, so you can just do a visual inspection on it. So we put the drop tube in, it's screened on the bottom. We pulled it up about 6 inches from the bottom. Looks like the pump has just gone prime now. We see the nice red oil going in the tank. We'll fill this right up to capacity. Then we'll move all of our hoses down to the truck where we'll transfer the rest of the fuel out. Then we'll cut it open and begin to do what you guys seen us do a million times. How you feeling, Mike?
Feeling good.
Good day.
Feeling good.
Good day. Beautiful country up here in Ulster County. Okay, we have finished this challenging project up here in Napanoch, New York. That's the tank removal, compacted. It's all raked back to the original grade, actually a better grade, had a hump on it. There's the installation on the pad. Homeowner wanted to make sure that he could get his quad out of here. It's a pretty big quad. Burner's running, full tank. We're gonna throw some seed and hay on that. We're gonna rake this. Little seed and hay. Boys are cleaning up the roadway right now. Craig's turning around so we can load the machine. My biggest concern of this whole project was this wall. And you can see it's absolutely fine. Integrity of the wall is absolutely fine. I'm gonna rake up. Sam's throwing down seed now. Project's completed. No issues at all with the integrity of that wall, as you can clearly see. Tank's installed on the pad perfectly down to the 1/16 of an inch. That four-wheeler thing can get out of there, no problem. Napanoch, New York. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens when you hire a professional. Another fine job. Tank Masters Environmental.